There are so many stars in the game of baseball going into 2023, both older players and newer players, where if I asked any casual baseball fan to name this player and then this player immediately after, I'm pretty sure they would get 100%. But what about those guys that don't have the benefit of playing in a big market with a team that spends a lot of money, or they've never made an all-star team? Those are the players that we're going to talk about today. So while I appreciate a lot of people saying that J-Ram is the most underrated player, I don't think that he's underrated anymore. I mean, he's a 4-time All-Star. He's finished top 6 in MVP 5 of the last 6 years. He's no longer underrated in my opinion. The same goes for Kyle Tucker. I'm going to go ahead and show this graphic right here. You have to figure out which one is Kyle Tucker, player A or player B. If you chose player B, who's been a little bit better, you just chose Kyle Tucker over Mookie Betts. So when you're that good and everyone kind of knows it, yeah, you're not very underrated to me. But then again, maybe people don't know that Kyle Tucker is that good. Maybe they just think that he's a cheater, which he's not. So just to kind of keep things simple, I'm only going to talk about players who have never made an all-star team. I feel like that's fair. It absolutely blew my mind when I realized that Zach Gallen has never made an all-star team, and I say that because the dude had a 2.54 ERA and almost 200 strikeouts in 2022, did not make an all-star team. He wasn't an all-star in his rookie season because he only had 15 starts, but he had a 2.81 ERA, and for his career, he has a 3.09 ERA in his first 460 innings. Zach Gallen is one of the best starting pitchers, not just in his division, not just in the National League, but in all of Major League Baseball, and you should remember his name. We're going to move over to Zach Gallen's teammate and first baseman of the Diamondbacks, Christian Walker. This guy broke out last year, 36 home runs, a 126 OPS plus. He also won a Gold Glove. He was the best defensive first baseman in all of baseball, whether that means something to you or not. Back in 2019, he had 26 doubles, he had 29 home runs, and a 111 OPS plus, which I guess isn't the best. But Christian Walker, in my opinion, with his power and his defense, he's one of the most underrated players in baseball. We're going to stay with the theme of teammates and also of first baseman, Nathaniel Lowe. This guy was out of his mind last year. You're telling me you've never really heard of a guy that hit 302 with 27 home runs, a 358 on base percentage, and a 141 OPS plus. He won a Silver Slugger last year. I really like the idea of Nathaniel Lowe being on the same team as Adolis Garcia, Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, all of the new additions that they've made over the last few years. And this comes after he was pretty solid in 2021 with 24 doubles, 18 home runs, and a near 115 OPS plus. Just because he played in Texas, a not so great team, no one really talks about him. Same with this guy right here. I'm pretty sure that 95% of you, unless you're a super diehard baseball fan like me, you've never heard of Brock Burke. This guy had a 1.97 ERA and 90 strikeouts in 82 innings last year. One of the most slept on relief pitchers in the game of baseball. Brock Burke is going to be a problem for a long time. Anytime you have a reliever with a near 2.5 WAR for a season, you know that he put up big time numbers. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Even as a baseball diehard who talks about baseball every single day, I did not know that Evan Phillips was as good as he was for the Dodgers last year without someone telling me to use his card in MLB The Show. Evan Phillips had a 1.14 ERA in 63 innings. On top of that, he also had an 11 strikeouts per 9 and a minuscule 1.94 FIP. If you guys are brand new to baseball, FIP is just a stat that determines how good a pitcher is at getting strikeouts, not allowing walks, and not allowing home runs. And a 1.94 FIP, ladies and gentlemen, is insane. Just like it blew my mind that Zach Gallen has never made an all-star team, I thought that Dylan Cease has made at least one. Now, I do remember him getting snubbed because I went to the all-star game this year, so I know he didn't make the squad in 2022, but he should have, considering he had a 2.2 ERA in 32 starts. He had 227, let's just round up for the guy and call it 230 strikeouts in 184 innings. Dylan Cease has really found that secret sauce. I know that he still allows a lot of walks, and he's gonna have a few wild pitches every so often, but a 2.2 ERA. Yeah, as a Guardians fan, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not excited to face Dylan Cease. Again, I know he's going to give up the random home run and he's going to walk a lot of guys, but he's so dominant, it almost doesn't matter. My boy Giraffe Nick Mark is going to be happy about this next pick. Brandon Nimmo, to me, is the most underrated player in baseball. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now, considering he has a career. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. A career 385 on base percentage and a career 130 OPS plus. The defense finally showed some progress in 2022. He could have won a Gold Glove in 2022, but it went to someone else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But again, it kind of just doesn't make sense how he's never made an all-star team. Maybe it's because people don't like that he sprints to first base every time he takes a walk. Maybe they think that he's annoying. I don't know. I like Brandon Nimmo. I really feel like he could be an all-star as soon as 2023. Christian Javier, I know that he was an absolute maniac and monster in the playoffs, and he became more familiar across the game, especially with casual fans, because he was the postseason. But let's face it, no one really expected Christian Javier to be a Cy Young caliber player in 2022, and over the last 2 seasons combined, we're talking about 250 innings. That's a big chunk of sample size. He has a combined 2.95 ERA and a whopping 11.7 strikeouts per 9. He doesn't even throw all that hard when you talk about major leaguers. He throws 95 to 96, but that fastball, it elevates as it goes. It's a rising fastball. It's nearly unhittable. Just ask Bryce Harper. Yeah, Christian Javier, to me, very, very underrated, and watch out for him to maybe sneak a few Cy Young votes in 2023. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I almost chose not to put rookies in today's video, especially a rookie that hit 228, but hear me out. Lars Nootbaar and this guy right here, Vinny Pascalino, they are both underrated, and I'll talk about them right now.
It starts right now.
I mean, this graphic right here, we love Baseball Savant on this channel, and I see a lot of red. Lars Nootbaar is a big, muscular kid. He's top 6% in arm strength. He doesn't chase bad pitches. When he's not walking at a top 2% clip, he's smashing baseballs, deleting them. He was top 10% in average exit velocity. This guy, he barrels up everything. I feel like Lars Nootbaar, especially when you factor in his improving defense. Now, I know that his glove, there is some improvement left in that department, but his arm is absolutely insane. I like his feel for the game. I feel like he's going to get better along with Dylan Carlson. I feel like the Cardinals could be sneaky good this year, like actually make a World Series push if everything goes together for their pitchers, because Lars Nootbaar, I think that he's going to make that jump along with this next player, Vinny Pascalino. Most of you watching right now are probably like, Vinny Pascalino, are you sure that this man actually plays baseball? Is he even real, or is he just a Mario character? No, Vinny Pascalino had a 383 on base percentage and a 135 OPS plus in his first 258 at-bats. That's really good. He also had 10 home runs and a 295 batting average in those same 258 at-bats, and the thing that kind of separates Vinny Pascalino, he absolutely destroys baseballs just like Lars Nootbaar. He is one of the best left-handed hitters in baseball when it comes to max exit velo. When he makes contact, it's hit hard. We all saw what happened to Akil Baddoo in 2022. He really fell off a cliff after breaking out in 2021. But the thing that separates Akil Baddoo and Lars Nootbaar and Vinny Pascalino, Akil Baddoo, he swings a wet pool noodle. Lars Nootbaar and Vinny, they smash. Okay, and not like that, but they smash baseballs. And because we haven't really talked about relief pitchers, the final 3 players of today's video, Alex Vesia, Scott Barlow, and Paul Sewald. These 3 guys are going to round out today's video. I think that Alex Vesia is someone that is extremely slept on. In 2022, he had a 2.15 ERA, which was better than his 2.25 ERA in 2021, which means that he has a combined 2.19 ERA and a 12.7 strikeouts per 9 over his last 94 innings. That is absolutely insane. Scott Barlow almost had a 3-win season last year as a reliever. Since 2021, he has a combined 2.3 ERA and 148 innings. He has a really good 10.2 strikeouts per 9, so I love Scott Barlow. No, he is not the brother of the other Barlow. I think he's on the Rangers. And then Paul Sewald, over the last 2 seasons, has 130 innings. In those 130 innings, he has a 2.87 ERA and a pretty good 12.3 strikeouts per 9. He went to the same high school as Joey Gallo, Bishop Gorman, right up the street from me, so I promise you, I'm not being biased. You just saw the stats. Paul Sewald, along with a guy, Eric Swanson. Actually, I'm going to throw Eric Swanson in today's video as well as let's just go with a few other guys. Daniel Bard, underrated. Trevor Stephan, underrated. A lot of other guys that are relief pitchers, underrated, but those are just off the top players I thought of before the video ended. Of course, your opinion might be different than mine. I can't think of every underrated player in baseball, so if you can think of someone, let me know in the comments down below and explain why that player is underrated. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for daily baseball, and catch you in the next one.